Hello everyone, this is Lamix, and today we're going to be looking at Battlegrounds, how to be really good at Battlegrounds, how to understand everything that's going on, how to move better, so like better map movements, and how to call things better, how to analyze a situation better, how to be a really good battlegrounder. So these tips and strategies and ideas I'm going to be sharing with you is what I've learned from years of doing Battlegrounds, years of trial and error. So nothing official from a professional guide or anything like that. It's just all from my personal experience and personal trials and defeats and victories and all that kind of thing. So this video isn't about how to play your class or how to how to interrupt spells or anything like that. It's more about how to play the battleground, so how to move around the map and where to go when you die, or how to call incoming calls, or using your map and all that kind of tactical amazing jazz. I'm very confident that after watching this video, if you apply the tips and principles I'm going to talk to you about, you'll be able to contribute so much more in Battlegrounds, and you'll really know what's going on and how to be more of a badass. I mean, even if you're a good PvPer, it doesn't necessarily mean you're good at Battlegrounds. You're just really good at combat. So, without further ado, let's start this bad boy. So if at this point, just like about 30 seconds before the game or earlier, if you know a decent strategy, tell it to your team before you begin, at least 30 seconds before, I'd say, just to get people ready, just so they can read it. I don't do that here in this particular game, but I should have, just so you can get some kind of coordination going. So in this Battleground specifically, I usually would tell people to, majority of us go middle, and just a few go top, because usually middle control is key in most Battlegrounds. Because then you've just got easy access to go, just to go everywhere. The middle is like the powerhouse. So we're just gonna contest this flag. I get too close to this guy and he does an AoE disorient, which is pretty annoying. So yeah, just we fight here, blah 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 blah. But one thing that you've got to notice, like when you fight here, don't just focus on health bars and killing people and stuff. You've got to notice how many of your team is here and how many of the enemy is here. And that's important because let's say there's 10 of us here and there's only 5 enemies. That tells you that you're wasting 5 people. That means you're being outnumbered elsewhere on the map, which also means that you're probably not going to get a second base because most of you are here. So I think that actually happens in this case. Like I noticed too early, like I wasn't aware of it in this game, but there was a lot of us in middle against not that many enemies, so we end up only having one base, which isn't good. So you see me break off from the middle as soon as I realize it, because there's no point in me staying there to finish off the just a couple of horde. Like, you're just gonna waste time and you're not gonna be able to get the other node. So as soon as you realize that there's too many of you at a node that don't need to be there, then you just break off as soon as you can till you can mount and then go to another node, preferably a node with where you've got allies already there, so you know you've got backup already there. I've actually got a lot of stuff to talk to you guys about, so hopefully we can cover it all in this, but if not, then hopefully it'll just be spread out in the other episodes to come. So we're at this node, and yeah, just always try to pay attention to what the numbers are. So there's 3 of us here, but there's like 6 horde, so Alliance shouldn't come here. It's like at this point, because it's like let's say there's 6 horde there and 3 of us there, that means at top and elsewhere on the map, let's just look at top, that means there's 6 of us at top and 3 horde there potentially. So that's where you should go at that point. Another thing to note is when you die, we just died at south and we were outnumbered. So if I die, when I res, I'll go to top, because those 6 guys at south, they probably don't know to break off from south because they're 6 versus 3, and that's a waste of manpower, waste of human resources. So they're gonna stay there and fight the 6 versus 2, and I've already gone to top, so like we're winning on the map. Like, our number allocation is better. Think of a person as a resource. 6 resources to fight 3 resources is a waste of 3 resources. You know what I mean? So always think of it like that. The best scenario is to match numbers. If there's 6 bottom, you should have 6 there, or you know, at least 7. Like, at least outnumber them by 1 to make sure you really get the place. So whenever it's not an even number, like an even number with an even number, or like if there's 10 of you but only 7 of them, know that you're wasting manpower, woman power, whatever, in that place. So move, like shift, break off to another place, because you're wasting your human resources. So right now there's like 1 billion of us in middle, so that's a big waste of resources. That means potentially, if the horde just aren't all dead rezzing, there's 1 billion horde somewhere versus like 2 alliance. So I quickly try to leave middle and I'm going top. I almost know that top is in trouble even without someone calling an incoming, without calling for help, because there's too many of us mid. If there's so many of you in mid versus 0 horde, that means undoubtedly you're losing somewhere else on the map, unless all the horde are magically dead, which it kind of looked like in that scenario. Or maybe they were all south, or they were on the move. So, on the topic of incoming calls, which it's a pretty big topic in and of itself. I don't know if that's how English people speak, but that's how I just said it. So yeah, incoming calls. You see a lot of people do an incoming call like this. They will say, and they'll type the whole thing out, every single letter. They'll say, oh no, incoming to the top Pandarian gold mine lots. Or they won't even say lots. So they spent all that time typing all those little all the letters, and like being like, it's like a proper sentence and stuff, but it's still an inferior incoming call. At least they called it. Some people don't even call at all. But something that's better, and you can type it in 2 seconds, is just 5 top. That's it. Because you need to know how many enemies are coming. Because if I just say incoming top, is it 1 person or is it 10 people? You have to know. Like, it's important. By the way, here, do you see there's like 6 of us down here against 1 horde? Big waste of resources. That means by default we should be losing one of our other nodes. So yeah, as you can see, we don't have anything. So that's like a mistake on our part. You can tell immediately, like once you've picked up on this and you're just like you're just always looking for it, you'll just know. If there's 6 of you down there against 1 person, you know you've lost something else. Like, you better run and go try to save the other place. So yeah, back on the topic of calling incoming calls. It's really important to do. Just if I'm at south and someone's all the way at top, I can't go all the way to top just to see if they're okay. I'd really appreciate if someone told me 3 incoming top. And then I'll look, how many do we have top? Oh, we have 3 there. So I know they can either kill them or they'll survive for quite a while because it's a 3-on-3. But usually I'll go and I'll try to at least outnumber the enemy by 1 person, because that's like a small waste of resources. 3 versus 3 would be ideal and you kill them 3 versus 3, but that's kind of asking a lot, because 3 versus 3 could last forever. And then it's kind of a skill battle or a matchup battle. Do you have 3 warriors there versus a warlock, druid and healer or something? So that's when it becomes a bit funny. So try to outnumber by 1 is my suggestion. also with incoming calls, yeah, just try to do that. So if you were in Arathi Basin, you just say 3 ST, so that means 3 incoming to the stables. You don't have to write 3 incoming to the stables. Oh no, this is the end of the world. So it'll take you less time to call it, but it's also like more efficient because it's actually more information in less letters and less digits and stuff. So yeah, try to do that. It's really important in Battlegrounds. No matter where I am on the map, I always want to know what's going on. If I'm south, I want to know what's going on at top, so I know how I should move accordingly. Now, on the topic of me moving around accordingly, if you're playing a healer, there's a kind of curveball that happens here. So if we're all in middle, and there's 10 of us, and there's 7 horde, that's a bad use of our human resources, isn't it? With 3 people overboard, but we could at least outnumber them by 1, so there should be at least 8 of us there versus 7. That's decent, that's pretty good. If I'm the only healer in our whole group, if I leave, that could be a problem, because if the enemy has like 2 healers and they have 7 people, they could probably kill 10 of us just because they can like out-sustain us, you know? So sometimes the healer shouldn't leave. And also there's other situations where a healer shouldn't do this, where like suppose this top mine place, I was the only one defending it as a healer. That's really bad, because sure, people will come and I can like out-sustain them and just interrupt them and stuff, but a healer is needed to win the big clashes, the big fights for a node somewhere else. And by node I just mean like the flag little point thingy. So yeah, try not to put your healers in that position where they have to do that, and then you're just weaker as a group in the battleground just because you forced your healer to do that. So keep that in mind. Be responsible DPSs. Hey, I got faith in all of you. Raymond, Trevon, Pablo, I know you guys can do it. I know it all along. Alright, now another thing is, now we talked about always count the numbers, always assess the situation. See, like this here right now, it's kind of even numbers. Oh no, two more of us just showed up. Now it's getting kind of iffy. I might have to move away from here. But yeah, another simple thing is just always watch the flag, especially if you're a DPS. Sometimes the enemy will sneak cap the node, the flag, in front of everyone, so always make sure you're on top of that. It's called spinning the flag. I don't know how the hell that name came about, but basically just hit the people that are capping the flag to stop them. So here at the south mine, we have, what is that, there's like 6 of us versus about 2 or 3 of them, and I know that's a waste, so I'm leaving straight away. If everyone did this, or like if at least 2 more people were doing what I was doing, we'd destroy the horde like by miles. Like, even though we're just a pickup group and we don't know each other and we don't have coordination, we'd destroy them because our map movement would just be that much better. Our human resource allocation would just be better. I hope you guys are following me with all this weird talk of human allocation and human resources and all that stuff. But yeah, so there's quite a bunch of us in mid again versus what, like 2 horde. That's really bad, so we've got to get moving. But we've almost won the game, so it kind of doesn't matter too much anymore. But it's always good to always try to play your best throughout the whole game. So yeah, I'm breaking off again because I know there's so many of us in mid. What was that? That was like 10 versus 2 or something like that. Maybe that was a bit of an exaggeration. I immediately am concerned about our other node because it's like there's so many of us just wasting time here that are not needed here. some other place must be getting attacked. But I guess the Horde were AFKing or playing with the cart at top or going top to have a party. I don't know. I don't know what the Horde do, okay? The Horde are weird. That's why I'm an alliance. I have long ears, but hey, gets the job done. Hey, so, yeah. I think that's about it for this video. I talked quite a lot. I surprised myself at how much I can talk. I might be a professor. Anyway, thanks for watching this clip, guys. I'm planning to make a couple more on Battlegrounds to really show more examples. There are some other things I didn't get to talk about, but hopefully I'll get to do that in the other clips. So yeah, stay tuned and thanks for watching.